The man and the wife were arraigned before court and they have been granted bail. What we don't understand is why should they even be at the center of the case when it is the 16-year-old son who drove the car and eventually got himself involved in an accident that claimed 2 lives?
It's a juvenile, which means it's someone below 18 years who is in conflict with the law. He can be done with under the Juvenile Justice Act. But there are rules as to how juveniles should be tried. If you are even tried with an adult, you cannot be sentenced in a normal court. It will be sentenced. You understand? You have to remit it to a juvenile
facility.
For sentencing.
Yeah.
You cannot be detained. You understand? So it actually depends on what the investigations have revealed.
Right.
So you cannot charge the son under any juvenile law or any other law and charge with anything. So it's a prosecution's case, and they are taking this strategy.
Could they go to jail for this admission?
Oh yeah, it may amount to conspiracy, abetment. I mean, like you're encouraging someone to break the law. Even though you have not committed the offense, if you encourage someone to commit the offense, you can be guilty. You can be punished the same way as if you had committed the offense. Maybe it is that they were not properly informed as to the implications of what they said.
Okay.
So that is why in every case, you are always advised of your right to seek a counsel and seek legal advice.
So they may have quickly pressed the sympathy button once it is their child, forgetting the legal implications.
Yeah.
Prophet Salifu Amuakon, a case ato no ye mo kasai ogina court na ibia na fe na wodwane ye na onim sa asem we ya asem a ha adwen se nipa mienu a sese yate ase so me ye namfo on aye nyame edea eno de ma asem no ha adwen. There has been a lot of legal interpretations to the matter. Said the American no sese ye no mo kasai Mr. and Mrs. Amuakon won akwa kugina court ya bail oma pleaded not guilty to a particular charger. Yeah, the a charge
charger yeah, the bomb 1 count each for permitting unlicensed persons to drive contrary to regulation 42 of the Road Traffic Regulations 2012 LI 2180.
Okay, charge and for na Martin say won allow won ba say ontwika akwada emremu no ekwan eni ho ese so to car charge de ebo ewo court na court won say SMP ACC ho later be a pipe mu if it is necessary. We don't know whether we even have to talk about that. Emra and central for copy or court na a year Professor Salifu Amuakon na sorry for to go on so it be mobile phones. So according to reports almost smash mobile phones and I think that is against the law as worshippers no won nimwa e bi no so betimi akopie court if that is a or if they decide to profess charges against them they will be in trouble. We say it is not allowed, it is illegal. As a free speech, freedom of expression, freedom of coverage. Na utitia so ana all block wa. It is against the law because Ghana belongs to a committee of nations that subscribes to the rule of law. Into who be a cover event legally. Nasa also wompene. A didn't na wompene. A didn't na wompene. A day na wusuru into a wompene. In central form also a yo majuma. If you disapprove of their work, that is your own problem. And no enya adea ubekwa akoye dede akoto twede nipa na ya charge wo no monto twede but wo a wo di na chi no yes religion is the opium of the mass and normally be we are easily carried away na wakodi osofo bi achi na ho akochiro charge I dey abo Mr. and Mrs. Amuakono. People have been asking a DNT and I won't because reports nature say they approve them catch court say one G2 say one ba car won't ban any license and I think say flashback ne papa also made a statement as say or no ultimate car or Ghana bra won kita license so car number plates emo ultimate etwi na that is not the issue. But I think say if you cry no can't edit Adrian because I'm not sure say obeka with the license. Definitely all license. Na sa semi no the ebi no bi sa ne say akwala no yempo. We tried that under the Juvenile Justice Act. Into emra wo ho, I will be a juvenile. A ban say ya unya 18. A kwan emra no e be handle e wo ho, and we know as a ban say ya so convicted into prison custody cry a number of years being observable, not more than 3 years, whether you like it or not, because that is what the Juvenile Act stipulates. I think the Juvenile Act it ought to be reviewed. Because we'll be already 16, 17, and since I'm 4 will be there, and a normal bay, because the Juvenile Act covers them, they invariably go scot-free. Exactly. And I think the Act ought to be reviewed. Now, back to questions and Bisa. I didn't say that Papa no one seek legal counselor now. Lawyer be and Chereno, the SS worker or Kokasaya na. So Kokasa ampa, you approve of your child driving without a license. This is scandalous. Say, I didn't. Okopa asema ma ho. Enti couldn't he have said, say, onya aware say anybody to can, because we understand say na a party and I won and akwala no ekoje safwani free made be ho whoever whether is a maid or not. And no dey akonya accident. Enti say papa no enye one na suma no. Let's assume say enye one na suma no. E dey nti no bekọ akogina ho aka say me na me suma akwala. Onim say na ode no ho to asemu ana. Lawyer be in a case on Kokasana. And now say the sympathy attachment. Say me ba kunyasem. Let me cover the child. I mean say me without looking at the legal implications.
Exactly. We're not ignorant at play here. Until we name in Swanswa, they say majatum say me na me di bonin. Even assembly see when you na koba na me join say yemfa say unim say oba. Ancestors obekita tu na one man tu no dey kodi boni, and you see it means abatement na akoso. And I'm sure that when seeking legal advice na or the koye sir,
because say court akogina you know, if the court finds him guilty na asem yaba, meanwhile kubit ma twene ho afra asem na ya try ne ban, because at the end of the day even if he admits say or no and the case ne ban ntwi ka na, it does not absolve the son of blame.
Exactly.
The son could be tried or would be tried. Because in this case, not the main perpetrator. I mean, your lawyer, to some of these things, if you are not lawyer BT, maybe I'm a tutor papa, so you can whip me in line or comment section. But that is our understanding of the matter. And a year papa, they be follow developments. Now, whether the son will also be charged or a juvenile. The juveniles are charged. That is why we have the Senior Correctional Center for juvenile offenders. And it doesn't mean so a juvenile, so he cannot be charged. As
some names say, sorry, me can say, I can say, Papa no himself, or check blames, no. See, no, they made in the Swakosha same. Say made in the ye key, no, Emma boy, no.
I don't think made, no. It depends on the context of the argument. Me wo ho, and waba, and I'll say, Mr. Kwati, o papa say faki no, and mommy. So what I say, it could be say faki ni mommy, na me found emre no. So what I say, and the maid could be helpless unless ignorance of the law. Let's maybe explain some of these things. Yes, ignorance of the law is not an excuse. And you know, maid, you know, or a willing participant, or a where's akwalano, ekutuka na, or what the power to stop the child as a maid na. You know, these are legalities. But it's say I don't know much about the law. Let's not wrap ourselves in super intimate cleaning from our dress. And say you know, idea a hadwin said medical account. Papa na mama na wan copy court, which I feel say unnecessary. As I think I'm more allow ma the prosecutor akola, and I'm sure that the laws will still prosecute the child. Young call quickly to lawyer Doris Manfo, one of CCF lawyers. Ninkuti interpretation of the Bema Sasemwe. The man and the wife were arraigned before court and they have been granted bail. What we don't understand is why should they even be at the center of the case when it is the 16-year-old son who drove the car and eventually got himself involved in an accident that claimed 2 lives.
As parents, you understand, they would have said that maybe if they are doing that as parents of the child, they didn't exercise due care over him by giving him or letting him be in possession of the car.
The parents disclosed in court that though they approved of their son driving the cars to the car were given to the child by one Linda Bempa, described by the prosecution as a sales assistant at Lilo Stitches, which belongs to the brother of the suspect. So the bone of contention, they approved of their son driving the car. Didn't they know that the son is a minor?
Yes.
Or they want to take away the burden of responsibility from the son? That is why they have come to sort of carry the weight.
The son is like actually an age, like 11 years, like and below. Like
Okay.
it's actually, you don't incur any liability, but from that, the son can be, charged under like criminal, juvenile justice act.
Okay.
But as to the parents, that's what I'm saying. I'm not privy to the exact charges that have been preferred against them.
Okay.
Maybe they were accused persons in the case, and I'm thinking that maybe they were looking at their supervision. Especially if they said that,
Okay.
like they approve of him, so they should have known that even our laws. You cannot possess a driving license until you are 18.
Sure.
So even driving, at the age of 16 means you can't even be a licensed driver. So it is contrary to law. And if the parents are aware of that and they sanction it, you understand? So they are probably going to maybe trying to say that, maybe they didn't exercise some due care or whatever.
Right, but couldn't they just have said that, look, we were not aware. We wouldn't have sanctioned that. We weren't aware that our son has taken the car keys, so that the burden of responsibility definitely dissipates from their end.
But here's the case that they admitted, so it is now like on them because they actually asked them because they realized he was like a juvenile offender.
Okay.
You understand? So like they wanted to find out his parents because even sometimes, in cautioning juvenile offenders, you can commit them into the care of their parents or guardians. So you want to see whether it's a juvenile behavior.
Okay.
And I'm sure whether they wanted to know whether the parents approve of that behavior or not. Maybe the parents could have said that we've been cautioning him not to drive the car and yet he's been taking it. But in the case, the parents have admitted that it's like they have sanctioned him to drive the law.
Okay, so we have the charges. 1 count each of permitting unlicensed persons to drive contrary to Regulation 42 of the Road Traffic Regulations Act 2012, Legislative Instrument LI 2180. Exactly. So that is 1 charge that we have. Permit unlicensed persons to drive.
Yes.
Right. So I'm sure this would help you.
So it means that they are saying that, as I was saying, the guy is unlicensed because he doesn't even qualify to be licensed.
Okay.
And the vehicle doesn't belong to him and his parents. If
Okay.
they say they sanction him driving, it means that they have permitted. But it is for the prosecution. If they granted bail, it means that they pleaded not guilty.
Sure.
The charge. That is why they were granted bail. So the prosecution will have to prove their charges, and they also need to put in their defense so that the court can make.
Does the development absolve the son of blame? The fact that the parents are in court, the boy is not in court, he is the mastermind, if I should put it that way for want of a better word. He perpetrated the act. And he is not in court, but parents are in court. What does that portend?
As for the son, it doesn't like it's a juvenile. As I say, it's a juvenile, which means it's someone below, 18 years who is in conflict with the law.
Okay.
So as I said, it can be done with under the Juvenile Justice Act.
Okay.
But there are rules as to how juveniles should be tried. If you even tried with an adult, you cannot be sentenced in a normal court. It will be sentenced. You understand? You have to remit it to a juvenile
facility.
For sentencing.
Yeah.
You cannot be detained. You understand? So it actually depends on what the investigations have revealed.
Right.
You cannot charge the son under any juvenile law or any other law and charge with anything. So it's a prosecution's case, and they are taking this strategy. So
okay.
I'm not pleased with all the facts. Yeah.
Right. So the accused, the man of God, and the wife insist that they approve of their son driving the car. Could they go to jail for this admission?
Oh yes, it may amount to, you understand, it may amount to a conspiracy, you understand, and a like I think quick offense conspiracy, abetment. I mean, like you're encouraging someone to break the law.
Okay.
You can be sanctioned, like if you are found guilty, you know, like even though you have not committed the offense, if you encourage someone to commit the offense, you can be guilty.
Okay.
You can be punished the same way as if you had committed the offense. Yeah, so that is.
I see. Though they may not have physically perpetrated the act.
So that's why we have conspiracy. Maybe that you act together. That's why they say sometimes in an abortion, you should even take the drug. You go, you buy medication. You can be guilty of abetment. You understand? Like you are there and people are fighting. You are encouraging them. You are supporting them. You can be charged with. I mean, like you are abetting.
Okay.
Yes.
Assuming they had not indicated in court that they gave their permission, but rather said, we are not aware of our son driving our car, we wouldn't have approved of such an illegality. We obviously don't know anything. All that we heard was that our son was involved in an accident. Why are they putting themselves in trouble when they could have easily said, we are not aware, so that the son is tried under the Juvenile Act?
Maybe it is that they were not properly informed as to the implications of what, I mean, of what they said.
Okay.
So that is why in every case, you are always advised of your right to seek a counselor and seek legal advice.
So they may have quickly pressed the sympathy button once it is their child, forgetting the legal implications.
Yeah. Yes.
We would want to thank you. We would want to thank you very much.
Ashefo, so person who Crime Check Foundation, Jumedi Ayedi Abreni Abrenina, Koya YouTube channel, Crime Check TV GH. Subscribe my end.
The subscribe ya. Me adom manaso. Send your video be a debate to bia. On sabeka. Now sweat me ahwebi. E mara if you say, oba like it, oba share, na comment it. Ya dase.
Sasase na opa to a ma empopoti. Eja real estate say, ubenya bia ohaw biara eni ho. Onkrata aka ho, kanea wo ha, ensuo wo ha, anwea boyefo, ebo boyefo. Enti kan ho na beje wo de na nsa nya wo. Yo atifo, ya mamu nyina akwaba. Tap send se watia. Eye kwan tietia a ye fa so send sika free amanone eba Ghana manimo. Se wo Europe, se wo UK, se wo Canada. Uni how kra. Ko App Store ho ana Play Store ho na download tap send app no. Wo download pe. Obebisa wo promo code. Obisa wo pe. Eno an se wa bahye ho Crime Check. Se de mo hwe ya. Crime Check. Ho ne ho a wo Europe. Ubenya €5. Wo Canada, US. Ubenya $10. So wo UK. Ubenya £5. Na wo mpe we na wo pedien. Na tie ni jeseme ye. Tap send do send sika no a. Eye free of charge. Ente se de keka ho ne bi wo ha. Ubetua charge no. Na sika no, ebetima beto o mobile money wallet ana se o bank account mo. Na wo mpe we edin biem e na wo pe. Tap send eye easy, eye fast, eye secure. Tap send. Papa no. It would as my lawyer I think that confirms what we have been saying. Say Akolano cannot be absolved of blame. Charges could be brought against him. And appearance and also. Instead of lawyer they may not have sought legal counsel before making those wild proclamations. Instead, no, also better me the assem. Abram, I think that this is an issue the media is following keenly because of the fact that lives have been lost. And they asked TBM said prophet Osmai as a uncle Abusian phone. And that is the right thing because Sebe a bani say a then one year. Or you nipa and I know say maybe going through a lot and much as we sympathize with you, Professor Lefo, I think it's a seminar about so a hard dream if you say a nipa me and a free mo. Now it be you can say only a US citizen, some more only a Ghanaians, but
well, reporter na me peken say Colombian na we and only a US citizens and it a ban say be a US and also be interested in the case.
Do you call them Nkwala?
Yeah, because of their ages, you know, only 12 years.
I see.
12 years. Yeah.
One looked older. I don't think so. I don't know. They make me who you know.
Yeah, pictures are APA bano ye amuye ushuhu amuye nkwala. Amu school crowd the letter bar out. At the respect you yeah, India Anna.
And to me, US citizens.
So if the US is interested in the case, we don't know how the Amone Ghana bino in Shishaya Ombeye they found their hoodie.
Yeah, you know, say the US and human rights are theoretically bedfellows. Benin believes human rights. I don't want us to go into that argument. But we know the way a US forte, Abane say no, they want justice to be served.
Exactly.
Don't also forget that Ghana also has a constitution. That's what I say. Into Ghana, also no, doesn't give space for people to go scot-free in such matters. Though any people problem with the prosecutorial process, you've been to meet Jessica no turn things, you know, upside down. But I think that is something that the international community will be watching
exactly.
with keen interest into no, and no, and a same way no. A bit to its logical conclusion. Apart from that, it doesn't mean say your judges and they don't know their work. This is a serious matter. Into whether the person at the center, popular or not, is immaterial. Justice will be served because in Nipa, the justice will be served within the ambit of the law. The Ghana Marana can, and on judges no, a bit so. I think so whether they are US citizens or not, no, doesn't matter. The only element it adds and it's the keen interest that will be shown in the matter. So by antenna, as your tightest cases be.
Ghanaians are interested in the story. Pastor Salif from Wakoni Dibia and in Sembia himself or no Kaka without license. I think Ghanaians are following the case. On be bibia be kwa kosi envan say ebia me papa bia obi anim no na me ma me de ka ko kumo bi say what will happen to him ka by now I think Ghanaians will be following Kemi.
O ba che say one ka with them that's why you're adult intend they say
okay bia na mi so me at that
age kai would the queue my prosecute
exactly so Ghanaians will be following bibia case in but I think that the judges fan say no nkwala na Pastor Salif Amakon ne ba de kana kukum ne nkwala say
and for hypothesis be amba because definitely way nemba it will be different way nipa obe feel and I think that America say let's not attach emotions what the law says and our judges won't be this e dey ayo majuma whether say on the man na say nyema the mra ne kire no and I hope say won't be this one. It's a ha and I day in communication Professor Salifo Amuako as Semano ABC in Abusiana one share one addition Mamo Yako. You better more updates on this issue because he followed the matter keenly in court. That's an young couple of my